Yes, sir. No voice. Okay. Now, sir. Now it's not even coming. I think like it's like coming. I can just move, see the steering bar of microphone. No, I'm just in logging into Bravinso systems. Hmm. Hello. It's not coming. Hello.
What's going on? एक बंद कर लो.
हाँ, मैंने भी बंद किया. आई थिंक सर मैम मेरी आवाज आ रही है बिकॉज मैं अपने सिस्टम पे भी करके देख रही हूँ तो प्रवीण सर कैसे आ रही है.
किस वाले से बोल रही हो?
Of course. हेलो.
इसकी आवाज क्या है? इसकी आवाज क्या है? Can you hear our voice?
हेलो.
Hmm. Check.
Why it is like showing the echo sound?
Because इसकी आवाज भी बड़ी हुई होगी.
That I have done till like minus में क्या रहा है.
अब बोलो.
थोड़ा increase तभी सुनाई भी देगा ना.
नहीं तुम्हें क्या सुनना है?
कि मेरी
आ रही है
आवाज
कि नहीं
कैसी
आ
आ
रही?
रही है.
वहां से आ रही है आवाज. मेरी आ रही है क्यों?
Hello, everybody can hear me?
I can hear you, sir.
Okay, Menu. I think there was some technical issue. So sorry for that, everybody. So today we are going to speak about the study in the Norway, and the Menu is hosting this webinar, and she will cover each and every information about what kind of education systems in the Norway and what are the programs are available there and what are the universities we are working with them. So, all the counselors, whatever the questions you have regarding the Norway, Minu is the point of contact person. And during the webinar, you can ask any kind of questions to her through chat line. So, the chat window is available in the right hand side. So, type your question there and let us know if you require some more information. So, Minu, you can take it further from here.
Thank you, Abhishek sir, for giving me an opportunity to give a presentation on Norway. Basically, everyone would be like excited to know about this country, how we can promote it as a low tuition fee universities and simultaneously as a free education country for our upcoming intakes and student to be enrolled for future. So basically, my name is Meenu Mishra. I am a senior counselor over here since last 6 months, and I'm finding very good environment over here to learn about a new country within every month. So this time I opted to have a brief and detailed information about Norway, which I am going to share you today. Although it would be a basic information, but once we get into deep learn about these countries, we will be expertise with every other consultants who or don't provide the countries like this Norway for education system for international students. So basically, I have a couple of content which I'll be covering in my presentation. That would be the basic information about Norway. Norway is popular for what? And why us international students should study in Norway? Popular universities, popular courses, UG and PG entry requirements. Also, as per the demand, I have added the PhD entry requirements also. And we have language requirement, because Norway, their basic language is Norwegian. So, and I would be adding details about tuition-free universities, about scholarship and quota scheme available from the Norwegian government, cost of living in Norway, academic system, intake and deadline, application requirements, study and work permit over there, and requirements for visa. So I'm just starting my first slide. You can just see in your screen the flag of Norway. So you can just find it like how the Norwegian flag is all about. Now I just move it to my next slide. Just in the map, you can find the location of Norway. The neighboring country, you can just find it as Sweden, Finland, and Estonia. And Oslo is the capital of Norway. And now we'll be starting with the informative things related to Norway. So my next first slide is about the basic information of Norway. As I told you even a few statements before, the capital of Norway is Oslo. Population has been credited around on 1st January 2015. It was 5 lakh 16,582. That is very less as compared to if you talk about Indian population thing. So now the basic, whatever international student would be required is the language. Yes, the first language is Norwegian, but English is a predominant language, which is very much useful for our Indian student. Next is monetary unit, that is actually Norwegian krona, that is NOK, and one NOK is equal to 8 Indian rupee. That is even nominal if you talk about with comparison with euros and dollars and New Zealand dollars or Australian dollar, whatever. So it's very pretty much less as per the euros if you compare it to. Next, I have the information about the time difference. Yeah, India is 3 hours and 30 minutes ahead of Norway. So if you talk about distance from India to Norway, it is approximately 10 to 12 hours travel, air travel from India to Norway. That is, the distance is approximately 6,957 kilometers from India. I have even given certain information about it, like where from where in India we can take a flight to Norway is basically from Indira Gandhi International Airport, that is Delhi. Then we can have a flight from Chhatrapati Shivaji International Airport, Bombay. And people who are from south, they can take a flight for Norway from Chennai International Airport. And reaching into Norway, three main and airports are there for international students. They are like Oslo Airport, Bergen Airports, and Stavanger Airport. Also, knowing about the basic information about Norway, I have also collected some information about Norwegian natural resources, like how we can just find a country with its well-being, with their resources and other things. So they are very much into of petroleum, copper, natural gas, fishes, timber, and hydropower. And if we talk about Norway is into a different end of our continent, so I have just collected some information about the climate. So basically, the winter is similar to our Indian thing, that is between December to February, and spring is from March to May, whereas summer is between like June to August, and like autumn, that is from September to November, which is right now going on. And the foremost thing is Scandinavian country it is. That is the few countries wherein the Germanic information and historic informations are available till now. So these are the three countries, that is Norway, Sweden, and Denmark. These are being treated as in Scandinavian countries. Now I just on to my next slide, that is why Norway is popular. Also, the tuition fee is low and free. Apart from that, the basic what country is all about. Although it's like very beautiful and very vibrant culture is over there, and the cities are cosmopolitics, like full of stunning Savian architectures and every historic things you will be finding, including your monuments and other as well. And you can just find it few famous things: frauds, midnight suns, skiing, coffee, waffles, seafoods, everything which international student would be expecting it, being into our international country. Now I just proceeded with my next slide. Like, these are the four famous cities in Norway: Oslo, Bergen, Trosmo, and Stavanger. These all are the pictures which I have collected from the Google, but it's like very stunning actually for an Indian student to migrate to these places as per the location and also for the culture. Basically, this is the important slide why a student should study in Norway. So I'll just read out the few things about it. Why a student should go ahead with Norwegian education system. Although first language is Norwegian, but the English program and other medium of instruction would be in English for every international students. So students studying in Norway will be experiencing first-hand Norwegian strong and innovative economy. So that is the whatever new innovations are being carried or go forward, they are also being served to the international student. Around 15,000 foreign national are countries enrolled for Norwegian institutes of higher education. Either it would be for undergraduation, post-graduation, or for research programs. There are lots of international students who migrate for education system over there. And moreover, 200 plus master programs are being taught in English. That means who wanted to have education with the English language. Apart from that, any specialized programs they want to go ahead, they can opt for Norway for their master in specialization things. Then we have 70 plus public and private institutes. Like, it's a huge number, all because if you talk about the area of Norway's longitude and altitude, so is like very much 70 plus public and private university we can find it in very small area. Norway is a modern country, so we will be experiencing a mindset of an and developing based society. So you'll be experiencing all the factors of being into an international country. Also, this is important for international students. They are allowed to work 20 hours part time, and the student will be getting an Schengen visa. That means he can just move out to other European countries continuously getting a single visa term. Next, I'll just move it to the important thing for counselors specifically, that is popular university. At the time of counseling, it's make it very clear and also important for a counselor to have their hand with universities that are being ranked. That is, so in Norway we have top 4 universities, they are being ranked. And as this you can just find in the slide itself: University of Oslo, that's ranked 113 in the world, whereas University of Bergen, that is 176, and four universities universities pictures in my next slide. Yeah, you can just find all the 4 universities. So the first one is University of Oslo, University of Virgin, and NTNU, and University of Tromsø. Again, to my back slide, this is like how institute and universities are available in the Norway. So basically, I have divided West is the Norway into northern part and Norway into southern part. So within the northern part, you will find all the university. That means which are being listed over there also, and including all the other university you will be finding in the northern area. Whereas in southern area, you can find public universities. These are treated as public university because these are being owned by the government people of Norway. That's been owned by the state people, state government thing. Again, you can find the university. These are the private universities, and you find it National Institute of the Arts, as arts and fine arts are very much famous courses in Norway. So they have specifically separate National Institute of Arts programs run in the Norway itself. Then you can find private colleges of higher education, that is probably like after completion of your 12th and then graduation. These are the private colleges they are available with. And private specialized university, these are the university, these have been owned by the private people in the Norway. They do run a specialized program, like you can go ahead with Norwegian language, Norwegian culture specialized program, or you can go select with an religious subject, music, whatever, a specialized thing. So for every specialization, a separate private universities are being formed over there. Next is like specialized university. This specialized university is owned by the state and again the government people in the Norway. This also have a specialized thing, but is according to the international student. So like most of the Indian or like international student must not be interested for having information about the religious or other things, but like few of them would be interested for music and other programs. So for them, these public specialized universities are being open. Next, you can just find the popular courses in the Norway. The first one is art, which I just told it in beforehand as well, that universities and National Institute of Arts, a separate section and group is only formed for that. Then we have business studies. Okay, now I think like in between connection problem was there. Now it's like clear. Now we have is age criteria. It's very much similar with the Indian education system and age criteria. Like we start our schooling system from age 5 or 6, so it's very much similar with Norway. And for higher education, if you talk about your 12th and graduation, between visa terms and other conditions. So it should be also specific, like students should complete their under 18 or 19 in India itself and then migrate to Norway for their future and for their career. Then I have mentioned a credit measure, that is they follow European credit transfer system. So that is like 1 year is equal to 60 credit they need to avail with their education or curriculum, whatever this courses they have selected. Now we have is like grading system. They are having an alphabetical order, so the A would be the highest, that we can just treat a student who are achieving into like percentage, something around like 85 to 100, and the lowest is F, whereas minimum pass grade is E, that every international student or domestic student should have it in order to pass that semester or session. Now, if you talk about the entry requirement, which is important for the students who wanted to get admission for uh, UG programs. So basically, we must have Indian student should pass their 12th senior secondary school certificates with a minimum of at least first class, that is approximately 55 to at least 60% they should have in order to get admission in UG. Also certain other systems and certificates are also mentioned over here, that is ISC and state board. And if a student has not taken their 12th class, they should have 10 plus 1 year of pre-university examination certificates that is being taken by the university whichever you are going to take admission in Norway. Again, you can just find in the or case, it's intermediate exam certificate plus 1 year of university education. That means a student has taken a 10th or 12th and taken a 1 year of graduate or diploma, certain certificates. They should have a proof of that. They also can get an undergraduate degree again in the Norway if they are interested in. Next, I have as the master. Complete 3 years of undergraduate degree is required. They are not much into 4 years of degree. But if a student even don't have 3 years of degree and they have diploma, and they have to have 1.5 years of full-time study in the relevant program according to the interested for the master or specialized thing. So they should have simultaneously both the things, a diploma plus a work experience related to the course, whatever they are going ahead with a master program. Next, I just move it out to my next slide, that is PhD entry requirements. See, this is the highest level of education in Norway. Not, it's like every country, it's the higher level of education. So they should have at least completed their master degree, and also stipulated length of 3 years full-time study. It's like mandatory. They should have a work experience in the home country or in the Norway itself. They can just match up with the things, or they can just go with the independent research work, that is doctoral thesis. They should have at least 2.5 years of length of a research undergone with a specialized things, whatever they are going to take in PhD thing. Herein, I have just mentioned educational component with 30 credits. That means they should initially achieved already a 30 credits, and pending 30 credits they can just achieve is after taking a PhD program over there. And candidate are considered employed and being paid a salary. That means the student who are going for PhD program, they are being paid a salary and they have been treated as an employee over there as in university, or outside they can just work and be entertained and avail the service of full-time job or part-time job in the Norway. For a PhD thing, I have also few informations like how a international student can get admission over there. So basically, the admission to PhD program, the university individual entry requirement as per their specialization for what they are or wanted to take uh, a degree or a research program. They must have a relevant 5 years of master degrees with a good grade. That is like required with every university, or like top at least 4 university which I've mentioned earlier. They required it at least 5 years of master degree. And so students should have sufficient funding for their entire program, and also the 2.5 years of experience, whatever they are going to have in that. Next, the doctoral research fellowship. Research fellowship has to be there. That is like including temporary employment at one unit of university, and also they should have a 3 years of without compulsory work of 4 years or compulsory work of, usually this is for your teaching thing actually I'm speaking, and this fellowship has to be relevant with the subject area or project or whatever the unit they want to just enhance or just want to cover up with the research, and also announced by the relevant faculty and department or music or centers by the university itself. That means for admission in PhD, we need to coordinate with the faculty department, the dean of the particular department or center, and they should have offer availing that the funding can be arranged by us, or the education or research undergone should be agreed by them. A few things I have mentioned over here. This you can just see is RCN. What is all about this? This is related to the funding thing. The Research Council of Norway. Actually, this council examine the international student and give the fundings to the students. So basically, whoever are applying for research program in Norway should visit this website and then just find whether the funding would be enhanced to them, whether the proposal has been accepted by them. Once it's been done, they can just approach with the universities and then they can avail the PhD program from Norway. Now I just move on to my next slide, that is language requirements. As the basic language spoken in Norway is Norwegian, so medium of instruction is in English. For it is like good for our international student who can just have the taught program in English. So it's available in all level, that is UG, PG, and PhD. And basically the student has to have at least the English proficiency to be met before entering to the application criteria. So they should have TOEFL or IELTS score even, that is 90 point and 6.5 score for like UG and PG as dependent upon the entry requirements. But if a student does not want to go in under this TOEFL or IELTS, they can also get an UG degree with an English as a language of instruction in their education, or in 12th class they have just passed at the A level of examination in English, so they have to show their proficiency about like how they are good in English and how they are capable enough to tackle the languages and instructions in English. I'll just move with my next slide, that is very important, that is tuition free universities in Norway. Norway State University and State University colleges rules does not charge a tuition fee for the international student. As my first statement is that it is not literally they don't even charge a penny, but still they have a nominal amount which has to be paid by every international student, that is 300 to 600, and okay, that is $50 to 100 which each semester. This is applicable for all the level, that is UG, PG, and PhD program. Whoever are going for even research also, they has to be a certain amount. This is the certain amount which they need to bear for that. University, some state universities I'm talking about and university college have a tuition fee for specialized program. As I stated in my last slides even, like they have segregated different institute and specialized university, that is public and private. So they have a special fees which has to be met, and that is basically for master level, not for undergraduate, because in the undergraduation student does not get into that too much of specialized programs. And most of the private institute do charge a tuition fee, and that is very much nominal amount if we calculate in INR as well. Next, it's important for students actually. Norwegian government scholarship for international student. We have a very good quota scheme in Norway. That is when this scholarship is being assigned, these are for the developing country. So India is being a developing country, we can just avail this scholarship as well. So I'll just tell you the main objective of this quota scheme is to contribute capacity building through education that will benefit the home country of the student when they will be returning back in their country. So this scheme is available, or for master and PhD program, they are not available for the UG, but also available for professional degrees. If we talk about students are going for masters in the MBBS, or they are going for engineering program, so these are treated as a professional degree, so they can even avail this Norwegian quota scheme. Also, this scheme have about 40% of the amount is given to as a student for the grant, whereas 60% is being granted as a loan. However, this loan amount is waived when the student return back or to his home country. So this kind of scheme available with the government over in Norway. Whereas also every university have its own separate uh, scholarship. For more information, you can search Scholar for Dave, that is Scholarship for Development. In this website, you can just find lots of universities, their entry requirements, their deadlines to apply for the scholarship. All details would be there. That is Scholar for Dave. I'll just spell it out: SCO,
CH.
hello, SCHOLAR, and then numeric 4 DEV. This is the website wherein you can find the details about the scholarship with every university, their deadlines and their entry requirements. Basically, the entry requirements for these basic quotas and scholarship are based on the academic itself, and most probably they are entertained for sandwich programs even. The student who even wants to go for sandwich program, or wants to take a exchange program, or they want to transfer, they can also available with the having the furnish of scholarships for to them. Next, I will just move with the next slide, that is about the cost of living in Norway. So it's very much cheaper if we compare with the other countries for the education thing. Although this Norway is one of the highest standard of living in the world, if we compare with an expense with other countries. But if you talk about when it's comparatively cost of living is high, the tuition fee is less. So we can manage and we can just convert a student to enroll for these countries, whereas the costing would be nominal and equivalent to other European country. So you can just see, I just have put in a detail about the cost of room for an international student, that is 2,700 to 3,000, which is like 360 to 400 euro. And approximately, if we talk about in INR, it is 21,790 rupees, equivalent to that. But that would be including this expenses for extra things as well, which is a like water, laundry and other things as well. And I have also mentioned a few details about living cost for international student for month for famous cities like Oslo. If you talk about 1,100, you need to spend euros. You need to spend, that is approximately 80,000 INR. Although living expenses is higher, but we can just compensate with a less tuition fee. So, and then I have just given the information of Bergen, Trosmo, all these are the famous cities, whereas like average living expenses would be 700 to 800 euros that an international student and Indian student can avail. Also, some petty things is there, like if a student wants to have a bread, he can just buy within 3 euros. If he wants to have a milk, that is of 1.5 euros, and so on. Approximately the living expense that has to be shown by a Indian student or an international student to get a visa of Norway, that is approximately 10,000 per month Norwegian currency, and that is approximately, if you talk about, it's going to 80,000 something in INR if you talk about. So that is going to be per month expenses we need, which needs to be bear by an international student per month, and accordingly they can go ahead with their programs of yearly or 2 years something. Next, I just move on to my academic system. Therein you can just find it like it's very much similar with our education system and European education system. 3 years of bachelor degrees are there. Then master degree is of 1.5 or 2 years. PhD are generally for 3 years, and 2 years they need to work, or they have to just be and to intern over there. So that is approximately 5 years of PhD is there. Diploma, if we talk about, the student will also receive an diploma supplements. These are the institute and specialist universities wherein these diplomas are being run. And professional degree like MBBS, Master of Engineering, or sorry, Bachelor of Engineering, or Bachelor in specialized things. So that would be approximately like 4 to 6 years in between. So herein we can just find that like professional oriented degrees as like 6 years. They are generally a MBBS degree. Next, I just move on to the important thing is like when we can just recruit a student and send them to their particular country. So academic sessions are generally from mid-August to mid-June. That means 12-month sessions are there over here. Basically, two important intakes are there. One is autumn semester and second is spring semester. Autumn is generally between semester September and November. And if we talk about spring, that is from March and May. Important thing for our part, that is like counselors part, deadlines for applications. The particular UG portals are available for application, whereas also we can just give a direct application to universities as well. And if you want any assistance for that, we can just help you for this as well. So in for admissions for UG, the application portals open at 1st January and the application deadline is 1st February. So like only a month or two is given to a counselors or even to the student to just put their applications. And if we talk about PG, the portal is open from 1st October and the deadline is 1st December. For them, it's like lots of time is there. In this PG, I have also put in the details about the PhD as well. So this portal is also open for the PhD program students. Next, the important thing like application requirements, how we can recruit the students, how we can just place them into Norway. So the first basic questions arises is, are you eligible to apply? Whether the university is asking for some specialized certificate or work experience, so we need to provide that, whether the students are availing it or how we can just achieve that thing, so that how we can just get into these universities. Nextly is a question, can you finance your stay in Norway? That means we need to show a fund, financial fund, uh, before leaving from India or international country to Norway, to whether we can just have the expenses to be covered in the Norway. Next question arises is, do you meet our English language requirements? As I told it earlier as well, if medium of instruction in their previous education is English, so that can be also waived by the university. But if it's like no more like less than that, so student has to appear IELTS and TOEFL for that case. And accordingly, they need to meet the criteria of UG and PG for that. How this application process proceeds. So first thing is like the student need to register for the application for every particular universities actually. So separately, every university will be having their application portal, so they need to put it over there. Otherwise, centralized portals are also available, but that are basically for European Union countries and Norwegian students actually. So you guys all can send application to me and I can just proceed it further for applying and doing the things. Next we have to do is like uploading the documents, and the final thing is we getting the offer letter from the universities. I have generally mentioned some general entry requirement which we can just ask with a student at the time of counseling, and even we can give the information at the time of counseling that student has to bear the application fee. It's nominal equivalent to 100 to 50 Norwegian currency. So that's like very nominal amount, don't have to bear it, because it's one NOK is equal to 8 rupees. So that a student can go ahead with that even application fee. Also, the student should have received, after applying, that is, received an offer letter from admission of the study program in the university, college, or university, whatever they wanted to go and whatever the level they wants to go. Next, they should have at least enough fund so sustain in Norway, or also their tuition fee has to be compensated. They should have a total fund about it, although they avail the free education even. Must have accommodation booked earlier itself, because they don't want their student to be flying here and there after reaching over there and searching for some of the other options after there. So they should be pre-booked from departing from their own country. Also, sufficient fund in the home country, which can be utilized after returning back from completing the course. This is very much similar with other countries as well. For example, Australia, New Zealand, you must show a fund where you can just come back and just utilize that after reaching over from their particular country. Now I'm just moving to my very much next slide, that is study permit. That is whether the student are allowed to work, how much they can go ahead, and related to that. So yes, students are allowed to work 20 hours per week, and whereas like 40 hours in the vacation. So this is a work permit what they get for the international students. So student who wants to work and earn their own by in the Norway, so they are allowed to go ahead with that. So like if a student wish to study in Norway, then they has to apply for residence permit or a study permit. That means they should apply for the visa for that. Then only they can just go get into the country. So the visa process generally takes 10 to 15 days. It's very simple process, and we need to submit a file to VFS. VFS is going to transfer this file to the New Delhi embassy. That's I've just mentioned. Over here, the Royal Norwegian Embassy in New Delhi. So this VFS, localized VFS, we can just submit our file, and then they will be forwarding this to the Norwegian Embassy. I have just given the details about the Norwegian visas application centers. Like you can just find the in Chandigarh, Kolkata, Ahmedabad, Mumbai, Hyderabad, Chennai, Pune, and Bangalore. So first we need to get the file to be submitted with these location, and then they'll be forwarding it. Or we can just clear our things from these localized people and then move it to Delhi to submit our own file even. So either of the things students can go ahead with that. Next thing is requirement to get a study visa for Norway. This after getting an offer letter, applying for certain things, and arranging of fund, the final things comes down to visa. So this is the very important things, like how we can just avail this service. So we will be helping you for applying for visas and everything. So whatever queries and other things are there, we'll be going ahead with this thing. Basically a student will be getting a Shanghai visa, so it's like they can just move it to other countries as well if they want to go ahead with that. So they need to submit their file to the closest Norwegian embassy or consultants. That means you can just send it to us as well, and we will be forwarding to the New Delhi embassy. So the Norwegian embassy will be just inquiring about all the details. So basically application form has to be filled, that we can help you for that, and a receipt of having a paid the application fee, that is 3,200 Norwegian thing, that is approximately 25,825 INR. That is today's currency rate, which I have searched it out. Next, they have to bear VFS fee, that is 1,450 INR, and a valid travel document, that is passport. Of course, the student need to have that, and a recent photograph. Also, the student has to submit an evidence of an approved full-time education program they have taken. That means there has to be a full-time program to be undertaken in the Norwegian University Institute or specialized colleges. And also student has to bear and give the documents about their sufficient fund, about their period of study, including funds to be supported in accompanying family as well. If someone is taking their spouse, or they are taking children or something, so they need to assist with that even. It is like difficult to open a Norwegian bank account in the personal number. So usually this amount is being established by then your education institute, so we can just approach it beforehand after applying and getting an offer to the university for like how we can just transfer our fund and how we can just show our fund for the bearing of tuition fee or like living expenses in the Norway. Also, as I told it earlier as well, evidence that you have somewhere to live, that means accommodation to be booked earlier itself. Next we need to show is the evidence of living Norway where the residence permit expires, then usually the form has to be returned back. So this has to be I mean extended for the students who are not going ahead with that. So processing time generally student resist, as I told you, like 10 to 15 days is more than enough for a student to grant visa for this country. It's very easy process even for, they don't have to go for the face-to-face interview even. But if any gap or certain things are there in their education, interview call can be given by the embassy for minor check actually, for their interest towards study in Norway or settling down in Norway. So that's all was about the Norway education system, basic information about Norway's, and that is my all slides. So I will be welcoming your questions. I would be very happy to answer all your questions and query after this session. Also, if you are facing problem in future as well. So now over to you, Abhishek. So
Hey, thank you very much, Minu. It was really wonderful session we had, and I think you have cleared all the points which required for the counselors to recruit the students. So thank you very much for that. So the guys, if you have any questions, feel free to write down here, because the Norway is it's a very good education system they have. Also, it's a free education. Almost all the public universities offer the PhD program, the master programs, or the bachelor's program, which there is no cost students has to pay.
even
Expect a little bit about the exam fees and all, which is very nominal, 500 euro to 1,000 euro. But
even sir, they are being paid salaries, so that's very nice for promoting PhD programs and research programs in Norway.
yes, that is true. Like if the students are having a good profile, if they're applying for the PhD program, they treat them as employed there, and they pay them the good salary. Along with that, they can do the research in the Norway universities. So the options which we have is really good, and because as Minu mentioned that most of the universities have intake in September already, right, Minu?
Yes sir. Yes sir.
Okay. So and the deadline is December. So like they start by October, they only started their portal, and the December they will close the session. So we only have the November and December month, 2 months only to recruit the students. So
For P-
sorry.
yes, for the PG and PhD programs, the portal open in the month of October and closes by 1st December. So we will be having only limited time to even apply and search for other things. Where you talk about UG, it's only 2 months. That is, it's open in January and deadline is like February.
Okay, that's great. That's great. So, whatever the students you have, like Menu is a point of contact person, so you can provide them the basic counseling to them, that what are the options are available, and accordingly, Menu will let you know what are the universities we can get their admissions. As I mentioned before, that Norway it's the tough education systems, so the admissions, the profile should be very good. Like generally, we have seen in the Norway that the students who's having a IELTS 6.5, if they don't have GRE or if they have the good GRE also, the chances are good. But IELTS is mandatory there because all the programs taught in the English. There are less chances for those students who are applying less than 6.5, but we can try for them. But we just prefer to take those profile who's having good IELTS score or TOEFL score, so that we can apply those students and we can definitely get their admissions in the Norway universities. Okay, so any questions? Any counselors are having here? Menu, do you have any questions from indoor team?
Any questions? From Indore, I didn't got, sir.
Sorry.
From Indore, I didn't got any questions.
Okay. What about the Bangalore team? Do you have any question? Okay. So if they doesn't have any question, that means they understand everything or they doesn't understand anything.
Of course. Probably what I can do is after this session, a small test I'll be sending it after the webinar of University of North Alabama. So I will just request everyone who all have attended my webinar, please do answer my questions, whatever I will be just giving you through a mail to each and everyone, and reply me with answers to that question. That would be very thanking for you.
Yeah, that is a really good idea, Minu. I think we should start now
I should
asking the
go ahead.
questions from the
I should go
counselor.
ahead.
So if,
Oh, thank you, sir.
yeah, so at least if they understand everything, they don't have any questions, so that means they should answer whatever the questions you have for them.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I'll do it right now. Yes.
Okay, no problem. So we will wait for all your questions, and it will be mandatory to everybody to answer all those questions, whatever you have. Okay.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for your valuable time, and appreciate
Thank you.
all your efforts for this presentation.
Okay. Okay.
Thank
Thank
you
you, sir.
very much. Have a nice day. Bye bye. Bye everybody.
Same to
Please
you.
join the session at around 6:30, which we have from the University of North Alabama. So, if you have any students who want to join this webinar, please send a link to them. Thank you very much.
Thank you.